Okay, guys. So we have this review problem here. We're gonna go straight into just reviewing and looking at what this question looks like. So here I see that the base of this triangle is 2 yards and the height is 6.5. So what's probably gonna make the most sense for me is to use the formula that has the fraction form rather than using the divide by 2 form. So what that looks like for me, I'm gonna start off by just starting off with writing my formula and then plugging in all of my information. Area equals 1/2 times base times height. And I see that my base is 2. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 2/1 times 6.5. But I'm going to turn that into an improper fraction beforehand. So 6 times 2 is 12 plus 1 is 13. So it's going to be 13/2. And here we go. So you guys can see what that looks like. Area equals 1/2 times base times height, and then I plugged in the information. Instead of just putting 2, I put 2/1. Everything is a fraction, so that when I do this next step, it's just gonna like be really clean and something that's easy to follow along with. So follow along with me. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 13 is 26. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So I have 26/4. And then I know that I can simplify this more. 4 goes into 26 6 times. And then I have, so 6 times 4 is 24. And then I have 2/4 left. But 2/4 simplifies to 1/2. So I'll say 6 and 2/4. And then that simplifies to 6 and 1/2. And then when you get there, you can just like write your, wow, this is a big board. And then when you get there, you can write it in its full units, 6 1/2 inches squared. You can do the same thing with the other formula, but I'm going to show you guys what that one is when we get to it. Something that I do want to point out is the type of triangle that we were looking at. That's something that I didn't point out like before we even got here. When you look at this, you see that the right angle symbol is outside of the triangle. That means that there is no other angle inside of this triangle, not here, not here, not here, that is equal to 90 degrees. All of these angles are less than 90 degrees, which means we're looking at an acute triangle. And we calculated the area. We said that the area is equal to 6.5 yards raised to the second power, or yards squared. The next question is pretty much the same kind of thing. The first thing that I'm going to notice, and I don't want you guys to get confused about this, again, this box, even though it's inside of the triangle, it isn't inside one of the angles, which means that this is not a right triangle. It's not an obtuse angle because none of these angles are larger than 90 degrees. So again, we're looking at another acute triangle. And we can tell the base and the height. Before we get like off the deep end and like really get confused on this, I want us to make sure that we're paying attention to something. This isn't a triangle that has 2 separate bases, although we could think of it that way. There's a really faster way to think about it. We can just add these 2 bases together. So we have one part of this base is 34 meters, the other part is 12 meters. We can just add them together for a total base of 46 meters. And we know that the height is 32. So I'm going to set that up right over here. My total base is 34 plus 12. So my total base is 46. My height is 32. And what we can do is base equal area equals base times height divided by 2. And then we just plug everything in. 46 times 32 divided by 2. Some of you guys are going to think about dividing first. I strongly don't recommend it. Just multiply that first and then divide by 2. It's an extra step. I get it. You're gonna like not feel like doing it, but you'll be so much gladder that you just didn't take any shortcuts and that you know that this is the right answer because you did that. 6 times 2 is 12. Drop my 2, carry my 1. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. Placeholder. 3 times 6 is 18. Drop my 8, carry my 1 again. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. And now that we have it together, we're going to add it all up. 2, 17, carry my 1. So what we have is 1,472. Now, we have to put that back into our original formula and still divide by 2, which is like a fairly simple calculation. I'm still going to show it on the side just so that we're not like getting lost and like, oh, I don't know what to do next. And also, I just want to model that we follow every step all the way through. 2 goes into 1 0 times, but 2 goes into 14 7 times. 14, 0, carry down my 7. 2 goes into 7 3 times. 2 times 3 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down my 2. And 2 goes into 12 6 times. So now we know that the area of the triangle is 736. I'm going to write that up here. Area is 736. What are the units again? Meters squared. Please, please, please don't leave that naked. 736 meters squared. I'm gonna go back in here and then we're gonna close out this video by just showing you guys what it should look like, what your perfect answer should look like. It's an acute angle, and we know that the area is 736 meters raised to the second power or squared. Now go and show me how smart you are as you do the level 1, level 2, and the exit tickets. Don't forget to get on Khan Academy and continue to challenge yourselves to learn this stuff. All right, peace, love, hair grease.